Do you want to draw hair like this, or this, or maybe a pencil style like this? Here's a basic tutorial. Now we start off by giving her a hairline. This prevents her from having an abnormally large forehead or just her bangs just generally looking too high, obscuring the whole format of the hair. We add a central part so that we can be able to give it a sense of direction. For me personally, that's what I use it for. Others use it for just the place with the hair split. We can start off by giving the basic general form of the hairline, making sure it's even. And remember, when we're going to start drawing hair, we draw them in strands. So these strands curve. No matter how straight the hair is, it will never be a perfect straight line. So we give it a more solid strand, and then we add more details by adding lines and the more details at the bottom, and it joins up together at the top. So that's how I go about drawing hair. Obviously, you can customize it to your will, and it depends on your art style. Now I start by giving the bangs a general shape, just where the bangs usually reside, so that I have a clear understanding of where the hair should end. And if I want to extend it, it should be a more choiceful decision than rather an accident. So that's how I make sure that everything's evened out. I also start giving some blocks. So I like to divide my hair into three, the bangs, so that it can have a more defined shape when I'm giving it more layers after I finish sketching. You can just give her curtain bangs, or you can even skip the whole process of just giving her the bang section if you wanted to do a more of a so maybe two strands in front, or just like a ponytail with no hair in front and just a few baby hairs. So I've also done my three bang sections. Now I'm remembering the pattern of how the hair should flow, and I'm giving it a general shape. Now remember, this general shape is not what the hair flow is gonna be. It's just how the hair limit and how I plan on making the hair. It's gonna be down like this one. So remember, it's curved. We're just giving it a general shape. Now, once you've done that, we'll start giving us some side bangs, because we have a bit of patch of hair on the sides, which usually covers our face, and it may give it a more defining feature. And can go in and start adding more details. So I personally took some slight inspiration from anime with the bang shading, because mostly I used to do each individual line, but I decided it would be a lot easier and a lot more effective to convey the hair strands if they were more formal, and allowing me to do hair quicker without doing each individual line, even if it still showed how their concept. Remember, this is just my style and you can do it the way you want. So after I do that, I begin to go in and define the hair side bangs. This is just me giving it a general outgoing shape. Now, I don't always make the side bangs uniform, but I always remember that the side bangs help define the face. So however I draw them, it should define the face in a similar way, even if they're not similar to each other. Give it a more uniform look, even if they themselves are not uniform. I go in and I add a few more twisted lines, give it some more definition. That way it looks natural and it defines the face well. Remember, hairstyle is also changes the expression of the character's face, like not an expression but face shape. It has to kind of go with it, otherwise it might look like the character's face is too long or too wide. I go in and I give the hair some curves. The curve is inside is where I see the gravity holding the hair, and outward is it letting loose as it naturally derives from the head, because the gravity can't hold it to the head anymore, because since the head is like finished at the top part. I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, after I do that, I rub some guidelines so that it's a little bit cleaner, so that it's not so full and it can be more understandable, so that when I'm shading it over, it's not a repetition of different lines doing its own shapes. And when I'm going over it, it kind of obscures the way I would intend to do it. Here I'm just going over my already done lines, making sure that they're well done, giving it some more definition, darkening it. And also this helps when shading, though in this tutorial I'll not be doing a well-rounded shading to though if you do wish for it, you can put that in the comments. I also define the bangs and make sure that it has some few loose strands, because of course, you know, hair has loose strands. And then I go into the center and I mark how the hair is going outwards, because that is the center of the hair and that is where the hair will be splitting naturally. I go in and I make sure that the hair is well arranged, and then I start shading it. Now this is once again just basic shading. This is not how I generally shade, but if you do want a tutorial, you can just put down in the comments. I add shading to make sure there's depth in the hair, and also make sure you don't go into light, but it corresponds well with the lines of how dark your lines are, so that if your lines are dark and your shading is light, it might show that the hair is a lot lighter and maybe might be a blonde. But if you're doing some dark and more overall shading with more consistency, just make sure that it's maybe brown, or even to a deeper extent black hair, like very deep. Yeah, I will not be adding a line of highlight on the bangs. The reason I'm doing this is because this is a general tutorial, and the way I do it, it's more of it goes with the hair color. So if it's already light, I feel like it would not contrast well, so I'd have to give it darker lines. And this is just a general tutorial, but anyways, this is how I draw hair, and bye.